Would you buy clothes from an AI model? What if I told you that you've probably already seen AI-generated listings without even realizing it? Today, we're going to put your eyes to the test to see if you can spot the AI listings. We're going to look at what buyers and sellers think, and we should ask ourselves whether AI is changing online thrifting forever. If you go on resale apps like Vinted and Depop, you might have noticed a growing trend. Listings with perfect models and backgrounds, clothes that look like they're made out of plastic instead of fabric because they fit just a little too perfectly. If you're suspicious about these listings, you're not alone. AI-generated listings have become increasingly common when scrolling on resale apps. A lot of these apps have not implemented any rules against AI-generated photos, and some have even encouraged them. In my opinion, it's a little odd, because usually these apps are extremely against and/or prohibit using stock photos from the internet. This creates a gray area where two different types of fake photos are treated completely differently. Vinted, for example, allows you to use AI-generated photos, but requires that you use real photos of the garment in the listing as well. Vinted has also implemented a feature where you can mark photos as AI-generated, but it's completely up to the seller to decide whether to be honest and disclose if their photos are not real. Depop, on the other hand, has had AI-generated descriptions built into their app since 2024. These generated descriptions can very commonly be inaccurate. If someone doesn't double-check what's in the description and just post it as it is, it can easily confuse and mislead buyers. The Chief Technology Officer at Depop has even come out to say that he supports the use of AI for his team. It's gotten a lot harder to spot AI images over the last couple of years. Honestly, I even have trouble sometimes, unless there's something really obvious that's wrong with it. I think that we should do a little experiment together. I'm going to show a photo on the screen, and you guys will have to guess whether it's real or if it's AI. Here's the first one. Okay, this one is pretty obvious. The photo is AI. The shorts almost look like they're still being worn by an invisible person. They're puffed out instead of hanging naturally on the mannequin. The background is a big tell as well. See those 3 duplicate books all stacked on top of each other? This one is especially bad in my opinion, because it does not give you a true idea of what these shorts actually fit like. Alright, let's move on to the next photo. This one was AI. The biggest giveaway isn't the clothes, it's the details around it. First, let's look at the clothing rack. This shirt on the far left isn't even hanging from a hanger, it just sorta melts into the gold clothing rack. There's no hook connecting it like all the other shirts. Now, let's look at the mirror. The reflection is extremely blurry and the plant in the window don't reflect in it correctly. Another thing I've noticed is that AI loves to generate these types of mannequins. See how there's a wood top on the first and second mannequin I've shown? Now, keep in mind, if you see a wood top, it doesn't always mean the photo is AI. Just a little sneaky clue that I've noticed that you guys might want to keep an eye out for when browsing. Alright, on to the next photo. This one is also AI. Look closely at it. Do you see anything that looks just a little bit off? If you said the carpet, you'd be correct. The carpet almost looks like it's melting. Also, the floor looks like it's shifting upwards as it gets closer to the bed. Okay guys, yeah, these were all AI photos. I'm sorry for tricking you guys. I just wanted to see if you could really pick up on these small little details that really give it away. The crazy part is that there's fewer and fewer clues every year. Sometimes there aren't any obvious ones at all. I know when you're shopping on Depop or Vinted, the last thing you want to do is spend 5 minutes investigating every single listing. That's completely understandable. But if you're buying something expensive or something just seems a little too good to be true, it might be worth it to take an extra 10 seconds to zoom in before you buy it. If you really want to know how to quickly spot fake listings, my advice would be to check their profile. A lot of the time, I've noticed that if someone's using AI to make these listings, they usually have a couple more obvious AI listings somewhere else on their page. Sometimes they don't even use the same model, mannequin, or background throughout their page. I think that this is a very quick and easy way to tell without having to nitpick a single listing. So to recap, watch out for melting textures, zoom in on wall photos, tiny text, and background details. Look for things that don't make physical sense, like floating clothes or impossible reflections, and don't forget to check the seller's profile. On r/Depop and r/Vinted, buyers are voicing massive frustration. Comments like these are very common to see under posts of people talking about AI listings that they've been seeing. Even sellers who have been using AI photos have been voicing their own frustrations on how inaccurate these AI photos can really be. I found a couple of comments of people who don't mind AI listings, but those are few and far between. There have even been posts of people showing the AI listing they bought versus what actually showed up in the mail. This person, for example, thought they were purchasing a cute, vintage-looking fur coat. What they ended up getting was a tattered-looking, ill-fitting coat that only vaguely resembled what was shown in the photos. Having good photos is a major requirement to sell anything on these resale apps. You need your listing to stand out among the crowd. This need for the perfect listing photos has pushed many sellers to resort to AI to produce these photos for them. It's incredibly easy to type in a prompt and have AI make the perfect photo for you. It's extremely quick and removes the need to spend tons of time looking for the perfect lighting, background, and model. In some cases, people are doing it for different reasons. Posting yourself modeling clothes on these resale apps can be dangerous. Creepy buyers are unfortunately common. When you show yourself in your listing photos, it can create a privacy concern. When shipping things out on these apps, you are required to put your address on the mailing label. This can open up major safety issues when these no-good people now have your photos and your address. In these cases, it can make sense why many people are opting to use fake models instead. On the flip side, these AI photos can easily become problematic for buyers. When AI generates these listing photos, they don't always create them completely accurate to how they look in real life. Colors can change, the fabric can look completely different, and it can become nearly impossible to see the accurate fit of a garment. These combined can easily mislead buyers into thinking they're purchasing something that looks completely different from what actually ends up showing up in the mail. When you ask AI to make a listing of your clothes for you, whether these sellers know it or not, it can alter how the garment looks. AI loves to create visually appealing images, and this is no exception to that. Often, AI will remove stains or loose threads, make faded colors look more vibrant, remove pilling, and more. For someone who doesn't look very closely at what has been generated for them before hitting upload, this can be a recipe for disaster. Some bad apples like to use these AI photos for more nefarious reasons. Scammers might use the generated images to sell items they don't even own or that are drop-shipped. Some people might even use AI to make counterfeit items look more legit in their listing. This can easily become a problem for buyers who would be less likely or unable to tell that the item is not what it seems to be until it's too late. In general, using AI photos seems to leave a bad taste in people's mouths overall, even if people who are using these generated photos are very careful to make sure their garment looks accurate. To end the video, I have a couple of questions that I'd like you guys to think about or comment your opinions on down below. If a seller uses AI to model clothes but also includes clear photos of the actual item, would you still buy it? Should AI photos be allowed? Do you guys think that sellers should have to disclose AI? If you got this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. This is my first video and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any other video ideas, if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to let me know. Have a great day and make sure to stay safe out there, you guys. Goodbye!